Welcome back. Now, demand for private healthcare services and digitization strategy benefits have given Netcare a boost during its full year. The private healthcare group has posted a 4.5% increase in revenue, while headline earnings per share jumped by 18.3%. A final dividend of 49 cents has been declared, bringing the total payouts to 85 cents, representing an increase of over 21%. The company's CEO, Dr. Richard Friedland, joins us now with his take on the balance sheet. Dr. Friedland, hi, good to chat to you on Business Lunch. Solid results, 4.5%. Is that what you were expecting? Is it in line with what you guys were strategizing?
Yes, I think it's a very challenging market, but I think what is most pleasing for us is the enormous operating leverage we got on the 4.5% of revenue growth, more than 2.5 times. And Ray, that was largely due to the various efficiencies that we've created, particularly on the digital front, some 587 million of efficiencies since 2022. We produced an outstanding cash flow, operating cash flow conversion of 113%. You know, if you look at what we paid out this year in dividends of 1.8 billion and share buybacks, and you add back the capex of 1.6 billion, that's a total outflow of 3.4 billion. But our debt only increased by 172. It just underpins the strong cash generation.
Yeah,
we're on track on all of our strategic objectives, and so all in all, we were able to reward shareholders with a 62% for the year, a total of 85 cents.
Sure, that's quite something, and your shareholders must be smiling. What is driving this growth? We're living in difficult and hard times, but you can see that people are turning towards private healthcare. What is driving this all of a sudden?
Well, I think private healthcare is world-class, and I've just returned from a trip to Europe in terms of the wearable devices we are now and have introduced today and announced to the market as a global first. And I can tell you we have nothing to be ashamed of in terms of the outstanding quality of private healthcare available in South Africa. I think it's a national asset, right?
Yeah.
And I think people would be hard-pressed to find this kind of quality elsewhere.
Yeah.
I certainly didn't see it matched in Europe, and I was in different countries. I think in terms of Netcare, we've been on a digital and data-driven strategy for the last 6 years. We are 6 years into a 10-year strategy. And as I pointed out in today's presentation, it's really beginning to yield significant improvements in patient quality and outcome, significant improvements in the way our colleagues and clinicians work. We've got 32,000 people trained on electronic medical records. At any one time, 5,000 are using it. And we're seeing significant operational efficiencies. So overall, there are enormous benefits that we're now beginning to reap in what we call the expanding digital dividend.
I actually want to speak about your digitization program. I mean, Netcare is expanding and expanding. Take us through some of that, because that's the way to go. And you're seeing some of your revenues also coming from that as well. It's only going to get bigger.
Yeah, you know, we decided back in 2018 we were going to move away from a bricks and mortar strategy, build them and they'll come. And we focus more on systems, on process, and on IT. And we've recognized in order to empower patients to take responsibility for their healthcare and become equal partners, they need to see their own records. And actually, we're moving into an environment where not only do they need to see their own records, they need to see their live records on their wearables. And so we started digitizing. We are now Apple's largest customer in Southern Africa and indeed in Africa for iPads. We've digitized all of our 8 operating platforms. We're producing 53 gigabytes of clinical data. We've augmented all of this with AI and predictive tools. And today, Ray, we announced the world first.
Sure.
We are rolling out, following hopefully a good and successful pilot, wearable devices that are medical grade, they're FDA and CE approved, to over 6,000 patients in our general wards, psychiatry wards, maternity, and rehabilitation. And you know, Ray, in our general wards, patients only get monitored or have their vitals monitored maybe 4 to 6 times a day. So 96% of the day, they're not having their vitals monitored.
Gosh.
Can you imagine if you could do that 24 hours a day? You can prevent deterioration.
Yeah.
And most complications occur in a general ward, not in ICUs where you've got one-on-one nursing and monitors. And we think this will vastly improve the level and the quality of care and allow our nurses to focus on engaging with patients. So we're extremely excited about this. As I said, the size and scale is a world first globally.
It really is. I mean, recently I was reading an article about somebody who got into a car crash. By the time his son pitched up to the accident scene, his smartwatch had told the ambulance to take him away. They'd taken him and they'd rushed him to a hospital. Are you looking at the same sort of thing? We are interconnected with everything. It's just a smart universe.
100% already on the Netcare app that you can download, and over 885,000 people have downloaded it. You can register free of charge on that app, and we can geolocate you in an instant. You know, often, Ray, one is in an accident, you're turned upside down on a highway, and then the responder says, could you tell me where the nearest intersection is, or off-ramp? Come on. And so, you know, just let us geolocate you, because time is money. Time saves lives. And we believe that wearables will see a huge increase in home care, in patients. We want to send patients home who are not that well and are worried about a readmission. Let's avoid a costly readmission by giving you a wearable and monitor and be proactive.
Yeah.
Imagine going to a GP, Ray, who says to you, you've got high blood pressure, I'm condemning you to an antihypertensive for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Or rather saying, well, it may be a once-off event, Ray. Why don't we put this monitor around your wrist?
Yeah.
And come back in 2 weeks and we'll determine whether it's real or not.
I think that's fantastic. I really do. Dr. Friedland, thank you so much. Congratulations on your results. I think it's a discussion we can talk for hours on. Smart tech. Thank you so much. I do appreciate it.
Thank you, Ray.
That was Dr. Richard Friedland, CEO of Netcare.